Hi guys, so today we will be starting with the group B question number 4, which is to write a C++ program that creates an output file which writes information to it, close the file, open it again as an input file and read the information. Basically, we have to learn about the file handling. So let's move on to our text editor and learn something new. So let's first save this file. So I will save this file as file dot cpp. Yeah, now this is file is saved. Now let us think how we could do this. So let us see what are the steps and how this is basically done. So whenever we work with the file, there are mainly three things. First thing is opening that file. Second thing is doing the work, whichever work we want to do. Either it is read, write, or do anything. Mostly read or write. Third is close. So basically, whenever we have to work on the file, we have to first open that file. So we have to go to that path, we have to give that path and then open. Once it is open, we can do any work we want. We can do any execution which we want to do. And after everything is done, at last, as the file was initially opened, it took some space in the memory. So we have to free the space and we have to close the file, or else the file will remain as it is. So the last step is to close the file. So for working with the files in the C++, basically we have an header file called as which is called as fstream. So if you have looked the previous video, which was regarding the complex number, the classes of complex number, the first question of the group A, there you would have learned about the streams. So if you haven't checked that video out, just check it once. So there you will get a basic idea about what are the streams and how input output stream works, because that would be used in this video itself. So for a basic idea, stream is nothing but in general, for our understanding, we can think it as a memory block where we store the data. So any program data is stored in the stream, and then this stream output it to the terminal or the file or anything where we want to output it. And similarly for the case of input. So from the file or terminal, it takes input into the stream, and stream then gives that input to the file. So it is kind of an interface between the thing. So for this interface, we would need the header file, which is called as fstream. So fstream mainly contains two things, mainly three things, but okay, let's just take three things. So first one is the f stream, then is the if stream, I f stream, and then is the o f stream. So as the name suggests, I means input f stream, input file stream. O means output file stream, and f stream is common for both. Both works can be done using this f stream. Read can also be done, write can also be done. Both can be done using this f stream. So mainly we will be using this, but we will give a look to this input and output stream too. So let's just move to the text editor and work with this thing. So let's just start with the code. So the basic things, the basic template. So include IO stream, then using namespace standard, int main, and yeah. So as we just discussed, we would need to include a new header file, which is fstream, which will be used to create streams for the files. So after including this, So let us see. So whenever we want to use an fstream, we have to create an object of fstream. So let's create an fstream object file. So this will be an object. So using this, now we will perform the file open, close, and other all operations. So the main things were open, then execute the things which we want, then close. Okay. So file opening, we have to use file dot open, and open here we have to first provide. So we have to first provide the file name and then the opening mode. Basically, let's first give the file name, which would be, let's say, text.txt. So test.txt. So this will be our file name. And then for executing, let's just first check whether it is open or not. So we can check that using file dot is underscore open. So this will return us whether the file is currently open or not. So if it is open and is open returns as a true value, what we can do is we can just write. So do you remember a basic thing how we write to the terminal? So we basically use cout and then whatever thing we need to enter. So similarly, when we have to write to an file, what we can do is we can use similar syntax, but instead of the cout, as we just discussed previously, that cout is an output stream object, so o stream object. Similarly, we have to replace this with the f stream object, which is our file. So this will basically write it, and then at last what we can do is we can close this file. So file dot close. So here we will open a folder. So here you can see basically there are 3 files only, and after execution, so if we just execute this, so it worked fine, but test file was not generated. Okay, yeah. So here, as I just discussed, this open takes 2 parameters. So first one is the file name, and the second one was the file mode. So basically, how do you want to work with the file? So do you want to read? Do you want to write? Do you want to append? Do you want to do something else? So we can specify that mode. So here basically, let's just discuss this modes too. So there are mainly 3 types of mode, which is input denoted by in, output denoted by out, app means append, and one binary. So these are the 4 main methods which I basically know. Then there may be one more method which is truncate, but I'm not sure. But for now, we would only require these 3 because we won't be writing in binary format. You can try this out, but currently we'll be working with these 3: in, out, and append. So basically, in means we will read from the file, out means we will write to the file, and append means we'll write but at the end of the file. So let's just see these different modes. So here for now we are going to write hello to the file. So for doing this we would need the out, but we can't directly type the out here. We have to specify the scope too. So we have to write ios scope resolution operator and out. So basically input output stream, and it would be out. So we are basically providing the mode in which we want to open this file. And if we execute this now, here you can see a new file is generated and it contains hello. Basically this will contain hello. Similarly, what we can do is, let's say after closing we will again do the same thing. So here I'll paste this again, and here instead of hello I'll write 2. Okay, so if I execute here, so and if we open this test file again, here you can see only hello 2 is printed. But what have we done is we opened the file, we typed hello, we wrote hello to that file, then we use file.close, again we open the file, again we write again we wrote hello to, and then we close. So basically what did just happen is, basically at the first open and close it executed completely. Then again whenever we are using this thing again, what is it doing? It is deleting all the contents of the file, and just writing this thing whichever we are mentioning. So basically this delete, we can't say delete, but it truncates or removes all the content of that file while we are using in the output manner, and just write whichever we perform in the last iteration. So if we want to append, so basically if I want hello and then again hello 2, what I would have to do is, instead of opening this in out at the second time, I have to use it as append. So if I execute this now, and if I open this text, here you can see at first the file was opened in output mode, we wrote hello, and then second time we opened the file in the append mode, so we are appending some data in the pre-existing file, and then we write hello to. Similarly, we can do this multiple times and it will work. So this was the basic thing using which we can write to the file, write and append. Similarly, now the other thing would be to read from the file. So the second here. So what we will do is we have to again perform the same things. We have to open, execute, and close. So file dot open will open test.txt, but now the input mode would be iOS scope resolution operator in. So basically we will read from the file, and we can again use the same check if file dot is underscore open, and if it is open, what we have to do is let's just take input. So we can use cin. So similar to what we do in a variable, so we can use cin, and let's just take some string string let's take line, and then what we will do is we will give line here and then again close, and let's see what does it gives, whether it works or not. So here I can then directly see out the line, and here instead of scene, as we just discussed, scene is input stream operator, we need the file input, so we can use the file stream f stream. So file stream and execute. So here, okay, not the f stream, it would be file. Yes. So here you can see the first thing, which means it basically took the first value from the file, which is line. If we again use the same thing, file input operator line, and okay, uh, let's take some other variable, string line 2, and file line 2. And if we now print line 1 and line 2, here you can see, okay, line is not defined. Let me just remove this line and line 2 and execute. So here you can see hello and hello. So basically at the first go it took this value, then as we know in the normal input stream, we ignore or we stop at the new line or the space. So here we received a new line, so we just stopped. Again, for the next time, we use this hello. We took the input as hello and printed that to the console. So therefore, we are getting two hellos. And here we can also specify the what we say is this. So if I execute here, you can see hello and hello getting printed. Similarly, if you want to choose the whole line, we can use the getLine method. So so get line, we have to first pass in basic terms we use getLine scene and then the line, but here instead of seeing we are using the f, what is it, it is 5. And similarly we will again use the same thing and make this time line 2, and we would need that again. So see out line, then again space and line 2. If I execute this, here we can see this is the first line, this is the second line. What we can do is here we can remove the 2. So if I execute, so here you can see this is the second line, this is the first line. We are separating it using the space. So like this we can read from the file. So now let's just see what the IF stream and OF stream are. So basically the thing which we just did here, we can do the same thing, but instead of specifying the mode here, that this file will be an output file, this will be an input file, we can directly create the stream objects, something like input file and output file, and then those will handle the input output of the files. So we'll try to replicate the same thing using the input stream and output stream. So let me just comment this whole code out. So let's just do the same thing. We'll write and then do the thing. So first of all, we will create a stream of IF stream. So here we can see there is an if stream and here is an I. So I means input. So IF stream, let's take I file. I file. And similarly an OF stream object, OF stream, it should be O file. Okay, basically this will manage the input file and this will manage the output file. So first of all, we have to output something. So let's just use OF file dot open, the same thing. Methods would be same mostly. So open, we will be opening the test text.txt, and then let's just directly write to the file. Let's just write hello and end line, and then OF file, okay, OF file dot close. This should let's just delete this file and execute this. So here we can see a new file is created and hello is printed. If we again try to write, try to do this, let's see what happens. This should mostly truncate this file and again add hello2 only. But yeah, we can try it. So here we can see only hello2 is printed. And then let's just try the other way and see whether it throws an error or not. So we will open, and instead of writing the output, we will take input from O file. This shouldn't work, but still we can try to see why it throws an error, whether it throws an error or not. So string line, and here O file dot line execute. So here you can see there is a long error that no match for operator. So O stream object doesn't have this kind of operator. At the end too, you can see this can't work with this. So means basically O file cannot read the data from the file. Similarly, if we just replace this with I file, this should work pretty much fine. So after closing, we have to output the thing to output line. So here we can see hello2 is printed. Similarly, if I manually add text, so what we can do is here I will try to provide the mode, which is iOS append. Let's see what happens. Yes. Okay. Just a second. Yes. So here we would require two lines and then line 2. So basically what I basically did is here I specified the mode as append, and due to this is also appended to the file, and we can see here hello and hello2, the two lines. After that, what we are doing is we are again doing the same thing, asking input using the line and line 2, and then let's just print. So space and again line 2. Let's execute, and here we can see the same output which we received from the F stream. We received from the if IF stream and OF stream. So basically this can also replicate the same thing, but if you are not sure whether you are writing or reading or doing something special, uh, you can use the F stream, or else if you only want to read, then you can use IF stream, and if you only want to write, then you can use OF stream. is output, input and output. So this was basically all about this question. So we have basically directly opened as an output file and wrote the hello. Then we use the append to append the data into the test file, and then at last we are just reading the data from the file. So let's just see how to read a whole file if we currently don't know how many lines the file has. So okay, let me just comment everything out, and we would need this. Won't need line 2, and yes. So here what we will basically do is we will check while the I file is the input file dot EOF. So basically end of file. Here it should be dot. So I file dot EOF means whether it is okay. Let's just print it. So see out. So basically this is nothing but it checks whether the I file is at the end of the file or not. So if it is end of the file, then it will return true. If not, then it will return false. So if we execute this, here we can see it is 0 means false. It is not currently at the end of the file. Why? Because here we can see there are data. So similarly, we can keep on checking while the I file is at the end of the file or not. So here we can use a loop while I file dot okay I file dot EOF, whether it is at the end of the file or not. While it is not at the end of the file, what we will do is we'll basically take the input. So see, okay, instead of scene it should be I file, then we will take input in the line and we will output it. So see out line, and let's just give end line. Let's just execute, and here we can see hello, hello to, hello to. Okay. This is happening because yeah, here basically what is happening, we here have a new line. Okay, let me just save this without a line, and if we execute this now, here you can see only two hellos are printed. So basically when we execute this with an new line, if there is a new line, what happens is basically it tries to again get. So first time it will input this text hello, second time it will input this too, and third time it will come here but it is blank. So it will reach the end of the file, but still in the line there would be the value of the hello 2, therefore it was printing. So if I can execute here, you can see hello, hello 2, hello 2. So basically like this we can basically print all the text file if there is no ending, trailing, blank spaces or new line. So here let me just write some text, and here if we go back to the main file and execute, so here you can see everything is printed. Currently we are not looping depending on the number of lines, we are here looping until we don't reach the end of the file. So this is how we can iterate through the whole file and read the whole file, and similarly we can go on writing depending on our cases. So mainly this was all about the question, how to write, how to append, and how to read the file which we just created or appended or wrote to the file. So yeah, let's meet in our next session with a new question.